We're Bison! We are impacted! We're Bison! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power that make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are impacted! The best team!
Hello and welcome back to TNI-UK Impacted, coming to you live via the Total Nonstop Impact Network on YouTube and, of course, Twitch. I'm your host, Bison. Today, I am joined by the one and only coming to us through the void, and his name is the Joker. Hey, brother, how are we doing?
I'm good, thank you. I just thought I'd take the glasses off before people thought I'm posting.
How's it going, bud? You're good, yeah?
We're all good, thank you. Just
Fantastic, bud.
have the dog's knocking me about, but they've just ran outside now, so it should be quiet for a couple of minutes.
Fair enough. Good stuff. Good stuff. I just want to quickly say, get well soon to Steve. He's not able to join us today. Not feeling the best. So get well soon, Steve, and hopefully you'll be able to join us next week. He is going to be in the background helping us out with sound bites and throwing up people's comments and all that kind of stuff. So guys, please don't hesitate to leave us your comments. It's really important. You're a big part of the show. Make sure that you throw in your comments on any of the stuff that we're discussing today. We'll try and highlight them, and if there's anything that catches our eye, we'll obviously reply to you as well. It's very, very, it's a big part of the show, so it's fantastic to have you on here. You know what I mean? It's really, really, really good. Bonus boy, Total Nonstop Impact Network sounds official. Well, it's very official, mate. It will be. It's always going to be a network. It's always a network. But anyway, so it's fantastic to be back with you guys this week. So it's the second week in a row for me. Bison is well and truly back by design, of course, which is obviously very, very important. And talking about by design, talking about violent by design, we had some sad news released yesterday with regards to Big Joe Doran, who's once again obviously been diagnosed. The brain cancer's come back. He's going to be stepping back from the in-ring action for the foreseeable future. I just want to wish him the very, very, I think we both do, Joe, don't we? We both want to wish the big man Joe Doran the best for the future. You know, at the end of the day, health issues are very, very important, especially when we're talking this kind of health issue. So sending you as many good vibes as we possibly can, Joe. Get well soon, buddy.
Yeah, I've read the whole thing on Impact's website before it was announced on Twitter, literally like 2 or 3 minutes before it was announced, and I can't believe it's come back. You know, he had it about two or 3 years ago, and the doctor said to him that he wasn't going to wrestle again with it. He recovered from it. Went them, proved them all wrong. About there was always the chance of it going into remission and return, and sadly that's the case. But he has got surgery hopefully coming soon, and all I can say is all the best. And I hope that everything goes well, and I hope you can get back to the ring as soon as you can, because cancer's an absolute bastard.
And to be honest, we're going to miss you, Big Joe. We're going to miss you. So speedy recovery. You're a tough son of a bitch, and we know you can beat this again. So good luck to you, my friend, and hopefully we'll see you down the road very, very soon. Okay, so with that said, there are some interesting things going on this week in the world of Impact Wrestling, and we're going to get to those in a second with our news rumors and of course the Impact recap of the week. I just want to quickly say hello to Bonus Baby, Donald Hill's in the house, Terrence Sullivan is in the house, and I think I saw Mir in the house as well. Yeah. So hello to you guys. It's great to see you guys. You know, you come see us every single week, and we do appreciate you. Remember, leave us your comments. Let's see what you've got to say about stuff, and we can discuss some of those things too. So remember, you're a big part of the show. Now, Impact have recently announced the signing of JeSICKa, which is fantastic news. I'm assuming it's basically it's a re-signing, obviously, of the incredible Jessica Havoc, which is going to be fantastic. Now, I believe that she is been signed now to a multi-year deal, which is absolutely superb. Very, very happy to see that Jessica's has been signed. This new character that she's now portraying is absolutely fantastic. Well, we are just, well, because she is sick. Let's face it, she is sick, man. So well done with it. Hello, Anna. Hello, Zach. And hello, Jeff. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, it's great to see that she's been signed, isn't it, Joe?
Oh, I'm over the moon. I'm so blown away by the whole transformation she's gone to since Masha Slamovich destroyed her. And I knew this would work because Jessica Havoc had that character we just didn't see. But I didn't know how well she put it over on TV and how well it would gel so quickly. I didn't think it would gel so quickly with everybody, and everyone's just taken to it like a house on fire.
It's been amazing.
It's been amazing. I think to just say it that she's just sick is an understatement because Havoc's just amazing. This is just brilliant.
Yeah, she is absolutely amazing. And I'll tell you what, seeing her live as well with her battle coat on, I have to say, she is even more impressive as this character in person than she comes across on TV. And it comes across on TV fantastically well. So I'm very excited to see where this goes. Excuse me a second. Yeah, I'm very excited to see where this goes. I think so far it's been fantastic. So let's see the build-up of that. I can't wait. And of course, not only has she been signed, but we had her debut this past week against Alicia Edwards. Of course, we called this last week that's who it was going to be. I think that Alicia gave a good go, but she just was not big enough and strong enough to take on JeSICKa. So I'm very excited to see where this goes now. And of course, staying with the knockouts, Mickie James is going to address the Impact Zone tomorrow night. Now, avoiding spoilers, because we don't really talk about spoilers on this show. What do we think that she's going to be talking about? Got any ideas?
Hardcore country.
Yeah. Any ideas, Joe?
Part of me still thinks it's going to something to do with potential retirement, but that seems too obvious. But it's the only one I can really think of off the top of my head. Although I do know Ashley Vega's been talking about Mickie James quite a lot recently, and but this would be dreams come true if Ashley Vega just magically turned up in Impact Wrestling.
Well, I saw something today earlier that it looks like she's coming to, or she's going to be seeing Mickie in some form in October. So I'm not sure where that's going to pan out or what that's about. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see where that turns out. I guess it was actually me, bonus baby. I was the one that said it was going to be Alicia.
Oh no, we both did.
You did as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so we both did. All right, let's give it. Hang on, no, this way. Let's give it a 2 sweet. No, to me. I'm over here. No, other way. Ready? Boosh. 2 sweet. There you go.
We'll get there. That's why Jay White's not invited us into the Bullet Club yet.
I can't believe it. Or Chris Bay. I mean, come on, Chris. Me and Chris are tight, man. Me and Chris are tight. But so it's interesting to see where this one goes. I'm pretty sure it's going to be. I'm hoping she's going to maybe have a last run, or she's going to do something. I don't know, rather than just retire. Why would you need to come to the Impact Zone to retire? I don't know. Who knows? But it's going to be great to see Mickie back in the Impact Zone. I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully we'll get a few more matches out of her before she does retire. But yeah, that's all good. Now, there was no talking about this last set of tapings. Mickey's going to be there tomorrow, which is obviously took part of the tapings, the last set of tapings. According to many sheets, wrestling sheets, there were many debuts that were reported to have occurred during the Dallas taping, which obviously included the one and only Hyan, which I was very, very impressed with. Of course, I don't know who she went up against or anything like that. I'm just saying that she was there. And I think it was Shane Taylor was there as well, just to name a few. I'm sure you guys will have a few more names that you can throw in the hat there. But do we think, knowing that the Good Brothers are on their way out, do we think that all of a sudden Impact have got some money?
Yeah, there's definitely reshuffle going on. If anything, it's sad to see the Good Brothers going, if they are indeed going. You know, it could just be that there is still money spare that everyone thinks they just don't have.
But is it, if we start getting people like Shane Taylor and Hyan and loads of brand spanking new great talents?
Yeah, to know that Hyan's come back and it might even be there for the long term is brilliant news. It's been a while since I've seen her on Impact Wrestling, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what she can do. I saw her tweets and that and I posted on Instagram, but when she was backstage, so I know that much isn't all dirt sheet. But as for anyone else who's debuting, if Shane Taylor's there, that's going to be really, really good to see too.
Yeah, I think so. Well, he was all over Facebook, so talking about Impact Wrestling and stuff. I mean, he didn't go, "Oh, I'm going to be there" or anything like that, but he was very vocal, which is sort of kind of hinting that was the case. Dead Punk and the former Grand Metallic was there. So yeah, I mean, they seem to be bringing in some talents, so maybe, like I said, there's a little bit of money that's been freed up all of a sudden, and they can afford to bring more people in. We're just going to have to wait. We know it's highly documented that Anthem have, a strict, policy on wages and all that kind of stuff, on how much they can spend on talent. If they spent a large proportion of the budget on the Good Brothers, for instance, and now they're not there anymore, all of a sudden they've opened up the budget, haven't they?
Yeah.
So who knows? I know that they in the beginning of the year they had opened it up a little bit, and like I say, we saw a few people coming in. I'd still like to see Gresham back.
They opened the doors earlier this year. We had Jonah and W. Morrissey, and they did an amazing job.
Yeah, well, maybe we might see W. Morrissey come back now that there's a bit more money, because we know that obviously he was after a decent deal, and we haven't seen him turn up anywhere else so far. In fact, I don't believe he's even been on the Indies. So maybe he literally just went away for a while and is going to come back at Bound for Glory or something. Who knows? That would be a massive return, wouldn't it? If he turned up at Bound for Glory, that would be huge.
Yeah.
Imagine if he turned up at the end of the Eddie Edwards versus Josh Alexander match.
Yeah,
I mean, that would be huge. That would be huge news.
Have him come call your shot, beat Moose at the end, and then beat Josh Alexander already at the end of the night, just to rub salt in Moose's wounds as well as Josh Alexander's.
Yeah. I mean, Chris has got a good point there. Chris Williams, where he's saying that maybe Mickey is going to sort of take on the management role with an Impact. I think, or maybe manage a stable of some sort.
Yeah, I'd love to see the Hexen too.
I mean,
Alison Kay and Marty Bell are amazing. I was a huge fan of Sienna when she was in Impact Wrestling. I'd love to see them back in. Yeah,
I think that would be really cool. I think that'd be really cool. And we also need to say happy birthday, obviously, to Hardcore Country. It was her birthday, so we need to play Hardcore Country again as it was her birthday. Just for shits and giggles, don't we? Is it available?
Hardcore Country.
Yeah, baby. Happy birthday to Hardcore Country. Now, Impact have also released dates for the December tapings in Florida. Now, this is interesting. It's going to be at Pembroke Pines on Friday the 9th, Saturday the 10th. And it's going to be called Winter Warfare. Now, what's interesting about this is traditionally, Impact generally don't... They sort of kind of, I think they do the last tapings in November or something like that. And then like the last month or so, or the last sort of 2 or 3 episodes are very much kind of like recap shows. So this is interesting. This would mean that they're doing at least 2 or 3 weeks there. So this would mean that they are doing tapings of fresh content right the way through to the year, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be good. It seems that way. They'll probably definitely end the year with a recap of the whole year like they usually do. But they might just have
I'm sure they will.
might just have it as one episode now rather than over two, like they had
Yes.
them. Although the pandemic was partly responsible for that too.
Well, we have had that before, though. That's how they sort of traditionally did things in the past.
Yeah.
But it's great to see that they're not doing that this time round. And, you know, I think, you know, how many times have they been back to Florida now? That would be 3 times this year, wouldn't it?
I think so. Yeah, this is definitely more than twice. So
Yeah, this will be the third, I think.
Yeah,
which is great. I mean, you know, revisiting those sort of terrain. I know it's a different place completely, but
it's
it's
same
fantastic.
state.
Look at Mir. I mean, Mir's excited. He's going to be there. It's in his neck of the woods. You know,
Yeah.
he's very excited about this. But yeah, no, it's interesting to see how this one pans out. But it's good to see that they're still following in the traditional, you know, naming their sets of tapings of something, you know, like a theme kind of thing. But again,
Yeah.
I still wish I still want to see that theme carried on a little bit. Because again, you know, they do all the backgrounds, they do the matches with the, you know, the like they did with the last lot, Stampede, you know, Lone Star Stampede graphics and all the rest of it, but you don't see that in the actual Impact Zone when they do it, which is, I think, is a bit of a shame.
Yeah,
but
if they could bring that onto the actual shows they get them, they've got it on it. It would add more to it. You know,
yeah, I agree.
Add that extra immersion to it, and you'd actually feel like you're there and then, rather than it's a pre-taped episode.
Yeah, no, definitely. Ed Punk Gage is saying that he thinks that WWE are trying to get back some of the guys that they've released over the last couple of years, you know, including Mickey. I don't think Mickey's going anywhere.
No.
Cass and probably the Good Brothers, possibly the Good Brothers. Maybe there's been some money put on the table for Kaz, but he hasn't turned up anywhere yet. So we'll just have to wait and see. I think maybe the Good Brothers, but I don't know about the other two that you mentioned there. So last week on Impact, you know, basically a barbed wire wrapped Sammy, after obviously getting a bit of a beatdown in you know, outside of the is it Sorrow Stadium there in Chicago. Shame we missed that one.
Where's Trent where you need him?
Yeah, exactly. He invited Moose and Macklin to join him at Victory Road for the bloodfest that is Barbed Wire Massacre. And pretty much ever since, they've been absolutely pushing the hell out of this at Victory Road. What are your thoughts on this? Because I think it's going to be amazeballs. You've got 3 guys that really don't mind hardcore matches at all, and they're ready to get red. What are your thoughts on this one?
I was so excited about the news. I watched all four previous Barbed Wire Massacres back to back yesterday, and the first one and the one that Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan had, they still give me nightmares. I am looking forward. Sami Callihan is now the veteran of Barbed Wire Massacre, so Abyss is going to be really, really pleased with that. And but Moose has been in some really, really hardcore matches over his time in Impact Wrestling. Steve Macklin is an up-and-coming deathmatch wrestler. You know, this is going to be one hell of a match. And like you said, they've been pushing this on Twitter, especially Moose and Sami Callihan have been really, really pushing this match already.
Did you see Steve Macklin release a picture of him in his face paint and stuff?
Yes,
he's clearly ready. He's ready for this one.
He's ready for war, and
he is ready for war.
I'm really looking forward to see this match. I'm so pumped for it.
Yeah. Chris, can I just say, yeah, I did, and I commented on it where you were talking. I assume you're talking about the message where you said Mickey being a manager, a role in Impact, maybe bring the Hex in. We did comment on that one. So yeah, there is a possibility. You never know. Now, talking about Sami Callihan, his best mate, of course, my buddy Jake Christ, is just celebrating his 21st wedding anniversary. I believe it was today or yesterday. To his beautiful wife, Nevaeh Christ. Congratulations, guys. 21 years is absolutely amazing, especially these days. You know, when it's so easy for people to sort of kind of like, you know, go into marriage lightly, etc. I know you've got a couple of beautiful kids. So congratulations to you guys. You know, hopefully, who knows? We may have a special appearance from that young gentleman very soon. You never know. Keep your eyes peeled, guys. You never know when the Born to Die Jake Chris could turn up on Impacted. But yeah, happy
Just
anniversary,
light
guys.
some fires.
You never know. He may just want fancy coming in, set some shit on fire, and then go. You know what I mean? Come in, set shit on fire, leave. You just don't know, do you? You just don't know. But also, I'd like to wish a happy birthday to Trey Miguel. I believe his birthday was yesterday as well. So happy birthday to Trey, one of the incredible up-and-coming talents of Impact Wrestling. I think already a multi-X Division champion. Or no, he's a
single-time X Division champion.
Yeah. And an incredible champion he is too. And I guess he's getting a lot more feature at the moment as well, which is great to see. Now, also, moving on quickly, talking about some of the knockouts like we were earlier, Taylor Wilde looks to be pushing for her Impact return as the all-new Gothic Witch style character she has recently been creating and been putting out on some of the indies recently. To the extent that she's been promoting some guy that was kind of basically begging Impact Wrestling to bring back Taylor Wilde. I don't know if you saw this. Did you see this, Joe?
I did. I didn't read. I saw the pictures. I didn't read the full thing, but seeing the new look at Taylor Wilde's got, I couldn't believe it was her. I thought it was a fake.
She looks amazing.
But
she looks amazing. It's an interesting new character that she's now created, and I'd love to see this new version of her. And I know apparently they've got a new champ for her or something. It's called Choppy Choppy. You know, I got no idea what that's got to do with, but it's Choppy Choppy. Something to do with basically squishing someone's head into between ropes or something. I don't know, but it's worth checking it out. So, but yeah, no, I'd love to see Taylor back. I think she's an incredible talent. Like I say, former X Division, former Knockouts champion, former Knockouts tag champion. In fact, the original Knockouts tag champion. So, you know, even if she was to come back and maybe in some form a tag team, and go after the tag titles, I think there's definitely some scope for that. There's definitely some scope for that. Would you like to see Taylor back, Joe?
I would indeed. I'd like, especially if she's got this new character going. I could see that working well with if Su Yung was to come back, maybe, or maybe even try and get Alicia Edwards on the side, because after her match with Havoc, Alicia Edwards was saying, "I'm going to win a match."
Yeah,
sooner or later. That was like a huge
then it was definitely. I am going to win a match because she is fucking hardcore, buddy. She is hardcore.
She's the hardcore queen.
Exactly. But I'll tell you what, I'd like to see Taylor come back with someone like Alexia Nicole. I think they'd make a great tag team. But we'll just have to wait and see on that, I suppose. But I'm sure she's coming back soon. She is still actually technically signed to Impact Wrestling, apparently. So maybe they just need to find something creative for her to get involved in. But I love the character she's created. I do. I love the character. Who knows? Who knows? Now, with the release of so many UK European talent from NXT UK, could this be the time for Impact to pick up a few top UK European-based talents and look at heading to the UK for a tour? What do you think on this?
Yes, I think they should. I think they should at least look at some of the upcoming women who've been calling out for Impact Wrestling for ages. Alex Windsor, Ashley Vega, even Jetta's even showed interest in Impact Wrestling. You know, I'd love to see some of them come over. Lana Austin. I would love to, and you know, and we've had Charles Crowley on. He said he'd be interested to go to Impact do a couple of runs there.
Yeah.
There's so many guys we've had on from the UK scene, and that I've just read their feedback on Twitter when they talk about wrestling. You know, Impact Wrestling is up there with on their hit list along with WWE and AEW. You know, it's anywhere to go to show the world that there is more outside of the US and in Canada.
Yes, I agree. I agree totally, and I think I'm really excited. You know, in terms of where I think some of this could go. There's so many talents out there available now. You know, anyone could turn up anywhere, and that's the interesting thing. And there is so many. And to be honest, there's only so many spots on rosters. You know, there's so many talents out there that we'd love to see turn up on Impact. We'd love to see AEW sign and WWE sign this one and that one and all the rest of it. Sometimes, you know, I know people complain about the whole short-term contract deals that you know, maybe 6 months is a little bit short, but you know, I think most deals should be a minimum of 12. To be fair, you know, 12, maybe 2 years. You know, 3 is a big, you know, as a big contract. You know, when it comes to Impact Wrestling, especially, you know, I think 6 months is not quite enough to necessarily really build them up and give us time as fans, to really invest in that character. You know, which is why, as much as we love Jonah, we didn't really get too invested because we knew he was going to be gone sooner or later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think if we knew that he'd been signed to like a 12-month or a 2-year deal, I think we would be more inclined to really get into him because we knew we had him for some time. You know?
Yeah, I only knew about Jonas like he had his intention to go after he spoke to Sami Callihan. I really did think that him and Impact Wrestling would have worked out a longer term deal, but when he did that interview with Sami. And he said that his intention was to go to Japan next. So I knew then that if he was offered a new deal, chances are he would regrettably turn it down.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, he left in good faith, regardless of how long he was there. And I think most of the time that comes in for 6 months or so is usually there just to get extra exposure to go around the independent circuit as well.
I agree.
Aiden Prince has done that in the past. You know, he was there for six months, and he's exploded around Canada, and so and the high end was another one. You know, she was there for very short term contract. Things like 2 or 3 months, and then she exploded around the independent scene. So it's a great way to get to introduce the US side to the UK talent, is to give them a short term contract, see how they fit in, see if they can work out a visa, because that's the biggest pain in the ass really for any international talent, is the bloody visas, especially now with all the extra shit from the.
Yeah, but that's the problem. They need a company to commit to them, and then that's how that sort of kind of pans out. Really, you need the company to commit to it. I agree with Slowpoke on that one. You know, we are better off not knowing about contracts and stuff. If they come in, as far as we're concerned, they're there, but it never pans out that way. Because, you know, the dirt sheets get involved in this, that, and the other. And I agree. I'd like to see Brandy Loren back as well, Anna. I think she's top talent. She's a great talent. We'll get to Aiden Prince in a second when we start talking about the BTI matches, Mir. But yeah, that's important stuff. Now, it's been rumored that Jeff Jarrett is looking to get back in or take over Impact Wrestling once again. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Because, like, I think Jeff's had enough chances. Do you?
I would welcome Jeff Jarrett backstage. You know, and in the ring to give a promo or two, but I wouldn't want to see him spreading his weight around too much. You know, I think Scott D'Amore's doing a bloody brilliant job, and we don't need another guy like Don to be like Don Callis and try and punch above his weight too much. You know, Scott and Don got the balance just about right until Don Callis was ready to go to AEW, and then he got a bit above his weight, and everything went tits up, almost. You know, and so if Jeff Jarrett's coming back, I hope it's not to cause any trouble. I would love to see him back. I'd love to see him wrestle again in Impact Wrestling. That'd be good to see, just for that extra bit of nostalgia, like we had with James.
Do you know,
Storm.
I've got no interest in seeing Jeff Jarrett wrestle. I have to say, I've got that would make me turn off and go and make a cup of tea. I got no interest in seeing him wrestle whatsoever. I don't want to see him on the mic. However, if he was to take a similar role to, say, someone like Lance Storm, you know, just sort of kind of passing on some of his knowledge and maybe produce a few matches, you know, produce matches, that type of thing, you know, then no, that's the kind of stuff. It wouldn't bother me at all. But I don't want to care or know that he's there. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. That's what I'd rather know. You know, it's like people seem to forget Tommy Dreamer is still there.
Just sit in the back, do what you need to do, and then piss off. I don't need to see you on a mic. I don't need to see you in a ring whatsoever. I don't even need to know you're there. Just go in and do a job and go home again. That's it. That's all we need from you, Jeff. So that's my thoughts on it. I think he causes too much shit once he starts getting in a power role. I think it's just too much for him, and then he gets on the drink, and yeah, it's just not good. Slowpoke said something interesting there. He said JJ versus Cardona would be fun because they are actually quite close friends. You're right, they are close friends, so they probably put on something fun.
What the truth is, you're nothing but a mid-Cardona.
You know, I love the way Moose says Cardona. He says Cardona. It's very it's like Bristolian actually, like from where I'm from, Cardona. But you're nothing but a mid Cardona. But there you go. I do love Moose. He's fantastic. So, but that would be interesting. No, definitely. And Anna's saying there that she doesn't want Jeff Jarrett taking over. However, it would be a backstage role. I'd absolutely think he'd probably kill it in a backstage role.
Yeah, he'd be fantastic.
Just don't give him any power. But there you go. I don't know what happened with regards to why he suddenly disappeared from WWE, because at one point he was being promoted and the next thing he's gone. So I don't know. Who dropped the banger? Who dropped the bigger one? KL or Bison? Well, I have to be honest, boys. From what I can gather from Trent, mine was just a one dump deal. What went down with Kyle was certainly a lot more than just a one dump deal. So I think we could safely say that it was definitely we need to change the name. It can't be doing a Bison anymore. It's got to be doing a scumbag. That's my opinion on it. Yeah, one dump deal from the Bison, and there was a hell of a lot more from Kyle on the mic, I'll tell you that. But there you go. And actually, I've been thinking about dropping into the show this Thursday, so you have to wait and see. I might have to have a few words for the young Kyle. We were friends. And then he decided that it would be fun to make some jokes about the Bison. Well, trust me, it ain't going to go well for him. Anyway, this past week on Impact, we saw an incredible 6-man tag between Time Machine and Violent by Design. This match was just incredible. I was like on the edge of my seat. I couldn't stop looking at it. You didn't know where it was going to come next. Absolutely fantastic. Did you enjoy this match, Joe?
If I was to say I didn't enjoy it, I would be lying. And there would be like huge cloud of hatred coming over and all that sort of crap, cliche shit. This match was fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. Absolutely incredible. Even the Matthew Raywald and Tom Hannaford had trouble keeping up with it at times. It was going that fast pace, and it was just amazing to see how we knew how good Alex Shelley was as a tag team wrestler, but to see him go with the two guys he knows better than anybody else, that was amazing. You think they've been teaming together as a whole trio since they started wrestling. It was just amazing, and then we got to see such amazing work from Violent by Design too, taking nothing away from them. And we got great tag team offense from them, and we got to be seeing Deanna really punch above his weight now as a tag team wrestler a bit more, seeing him really like getting used to like chain tags and all that sort of stuff, keeping the offense in a corner. We now a lot more with Eric Young, seeing as we know that Joe Doring is obviously not going to be around a bit more, so we're seeing it a bit more with Eric Young, and that was.
Well, we could see more of Eric Young. Be interesting to see whether they replace Joe to make it back to a 3-man. I'll be interested to see if they do that or whether they keep it just Deanna and Eric. What do you think?
I think it might be kept to Deanna and Eric. I don't see any reason to bring a third man in unless they can really find another guy as intimidating as Joe Doring. But I think
could be the M-Road from Madman Fulton.
It could be indeed. That would be the only guy I can think of who could really fit step into the void. But I'm looking forward to seeing where things are going with Alex Shelley and Chris and the whole Time Machine now, because they surely can't be done with Violent by Design now just because they won that one match. Something's got something, because Kushida's been amazing.
He's so good, isn't he? He is so good. But again, Deanna, I agree with that, Dead Punk, as well. Deanna really proved himself against Time Machine. He was great.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, like, it wasn't just then, though. I mean, he's had some great matches in the past couple of months. So I think he's great. And then, of course, Saban was on the rampage. That's very true. Now, what's interesting, and we just touched on that, Mir, what does happen to VB Dino Dorian's gone? Do they replace him? Do they just keep going as they are? We'll just have to wait and see. Bonus Baby enjoyed it, so which is good to see. But he enjoyed it even more knowing that AEW fans are going to get to see Impact Motor City Machine Guns against all odds. Well, actually, that's the next thing on my list to talk about, boys. So the Motor City Machine Guns to join Jay Lethal in the 6-man tag versus FTR and Wardlow on AEW All Out. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? And what I liked about this one, and I'm going to say it. What I liked about this one was that hang on a second. What I liked about this one, more than anything else, is that AEW were actually writing Impact Wrestling on the promos.
Yeah.
They were making it clear that Motor City Machine Guns were from Impact Wrestling, which I thought was it's about time. It's about time they started doing stuff like that, because they certainly didn't do that type of stuff the first time we started sharing talent, did they?
No, not with Deanna Praza or W. Morrissey or Moose.
Yeah.
I think Big Moose went over there, didn't he? And he lost the match.
He was against. Didn't he go? He did a world title match, did he, with Kenny Omega?
I think, yeah.
But that was at the where they do the tapings for Dark, though, wasn't it? It wasn't an AEW show. It wasn't Dynamite or anything like that.
No, which is even more insulting.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It was ridiculous, really. What they did last time is just absolutely ridiculous. But Saban was also on Rampage by all accounts. I didn't know that, so that's interesting. Because obviously I don't watch much AEW, so I didn't know that. But there you go. But yeah, I kind of agree with that, Gage. She's saying there that it's kind of been better if it was Time Machine.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. But then
Yeah.
they would have to have more AEW talent in there over Impact Wrestling talent. Otherwise, Tony Khan wouldn't be too pleased about it. I'm pretty sure Omega and the Young Bucks have been more than happy with that. If it was a proper trio versus a proper trio, rather than whatever the hell they've got now. But still, this is going to be an amazing match. Jay Lethal is, I think it is Jay Lethal who's their tag team partner. Whoever the Machine Guns with, they're going to put on a hell of a match. And while it hasn't got my interest to watch the whole event, I'll at least keep an eye on the highlights of this match. And chances I'll end up skimming through the 5 hours and finding it somewhere.
Yeah. No, I will definitely be checking the match out. I'm pretty certain that we'll get some sort of highlights of it or something the following week on Impact for sure.
It might even be a digital media exclusive if we're lucky.
Christ, I doubt that, mate.
I know, I doubt it very much. But even if it's up like near Christmas or something like that, if it's like 2 or 3 months down the line, like they did with when the City Machine Guns stuck on the Wolves at Wrestling Revolver on Halloween. When it relaunched, that was a bloody good match too.
Very good. But that's the thing. There's so much stuff going on. That's interesting, bonus, babe. What you're saying there, I agree with you. At the end of the day, AEW actually just saying the words Impact Wrestling to 900,000 viewers is a good thing.
Yeah.
Not only that, FTR. Could we see FTR come to BFG to defend one of their titles against Motor City Machine Guns?
That would be a good match. That would probably steal the show if they did. I think if Tony Khan's got a business sense, he'd do it.
Yeah, and that's interesting, Barry Monkey. Yeah, exactly. yeah, I agree. But anyway, so Dead Punk is obviously, happy to watch the Guns and Jay Lethal against FTR Wardlow match. Don't really care about the other matches, but that's, I mean, like I say, that is going to be a good match, but there's always a possibility of more coming out, later on in the year. You just never know. As long as we get like, kind of joint promotional stuff going on, then I'm happy either way. So it's all good. Now, guys, what's your thought? I'm interested. I'm interested to know what everybody thinks on this one in the chat as well as Joe. What are your thoughts on the in-ring debut of Jason Hotch versus Bhupinder Gujjar? I thought it was really good.
He was really, really good. He was really solid, and he sold a lot of the moves really well as well. It's sad to see him pick up the loss, but then one of them had to lose, and what followed on from the match just made up for it even more as well. But his in-ring work was brilliant. He was really, really crisp and really, really on point. He kept up with Bhupinder throughout the entire match, and I think Lance Storm made the right decision picking him, because there was a hell of a lot of talent they could have picked, and this guy has got a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's got the look. He looks incredible. His gear is good. He's definitely got the looks for TV. He came across really well. His moveset was pretty, we clearly didn't see all of it because he wasn't allowed to get most of his offense in. But like you said, the art of selling was definitely there, which is something which I find these days is not as pronounced as it could have been. I think this dude's got a big future. I think he's really good. I think he's definitely, exactly. Even in defeat, he looked like a star.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He did. He looked a big deal. So I'm really, really excited to see where this guy goes. I think he's pretty good. And you're right, Bonus Baby. For two greener guys, they put on a really solid match. They did a great job on the big stage. I think they did great. There you go. Barry says his debut wasn't amazing, as you say. Solid is the right word. Solid and good. I agree. I think he's got a great look. He did look like a star. He didn't get much of his offense in, but he sold well. So, well, talking about BAMs, or talking about the knockouts, shall we say? It's been a while since I brought this up, but recently I've been seeing so many female talents on the socials wanting in on Impact Wrestling's Knockouts division. Most recent one, obviously we know Ashley Vega's been saying stuff, Hyan's been saying stuff, but the most recent one is Session Moth Martina, former Ring of Honor talent. Big talent over here, obviously in the UK. Now she's been putting out there that she'd love to wrestle on Impact Wrestling. Now with so many names that are looking to get involved, it's time. The time is now. We need to load up the division and set aside a new 1 hour knockouts only weekly show.
Yeah,
it's got to happen.
At least bring back Knockouts Knockdown next year, and because Ashley Vega was calling for Empower to return, and I could see Mickie James doing that. So it would be great to see if Empower returns and Knockouts Knockdown returns next year. It would be a great way to showcase all the international women's talent that's out there. It'd be brilliant for the British and Irish and European talent especially.
We need to get these guys in. We need to get them locked down. We've got Hyatt out there. You've got Taylor Wilde. You've got Session Moth, who's already making statements. Ashley Vega, Alex Windsor, Alexia Nicole, Casey Spinelli. Although she has been turning up on WWE recently, I've heard.
She was a security guard for someone else there.
Oh, was she? So just okay. But what I've just reeled off 6 or 7, really good talents. You got Lana Austin in the UK. There's another one. I'm trying to think of a couple of others. Chantel Jordan, Jetta. There is some absolutely fantastic. I don't know. There's just some amazing talents out there at the moment, and you could really stack up. stack up the knockouts division. You could have a 1 hour special show just dedicated to the knockouts. It doesn't mean that they don't go on Impact Wrestling Weekly, but you could just have something else, couldn't you?
Yeah.
You could have like the Vixens or something, the Vixens of the knockout, I don't know, Vixens of the knockouts division on Impact Wrestling. I don't know. You could do all sorts of stuff. But, or you could even have a weekly show called Knockouts Knockdown. Why does it have to be a pay-per-view? It could just be, or a special. We could just have Knockouts Knockdown every week. A 1 hour special, 1 hour show every week. It'd be awesome. I just don't know why they're not doing it. Why are they not hit and go on this? Because, the Knockouts division is so hot that, they could really do something special. They could really do something, especially now with the likes. You've got Gail Kim in the back, you've got Maria Kanellis in the back, you've got Mickey James in the back. Just those three alone.
Yeah, and Madison Rain did over at AEW. She's got an eye on everyone. All over the place.
I don't know. I just think, like you say, maybe that is what Mickey's coming for. Who knows? But I think we're in a position now where we could really start to showcase those knockouts. Everyone, the knockouts division is renowned. It's got so much respect all around the world that talents want to be part of the knockouts division. Come on, Gail. Come on, Scott.
I'll keep begging every time Ashley Vega mentions it. So I'm going to...
Let's get this shit sorted. Anyway, regardless of that, digital media exclusive match this week. We've already hit on this before the show started. Josh Alexander versus Aiden Prince from Greek Town Wrestling. A really good 10-minute match. And if you haven't seen it, if you're not on Impact Plus, you're not a fully paid up subscriber to that or Ultimate Insiders, you have to wait till Saturday, I believe, but it's available now for you guys. Get over and watch it. It's a very, very good match. What did you think of it, Joe?
I was so impressed by Aiden Prince. So I think I messaged you guys straight after I watched it. I said to you, this guy is fantastic. I'm so glad that Impact Wrestling have finally scooped him up, and I just hope now that they don't let the ball drop on him, because he's a future star in the making. He's made a name for himself elsewhere, and now Impact Wrestling's got him. Now's the time to really, really push him forward, because he could be up there with Trey Miguel, Chris Bay, and Ace Austin within a year if he's right. And and Josh Alexander took a hell of a beating from him as well. It wasn't one-sided, which is amazing too. And we got confirmation then as well on during that match that Aiden Prince is indeed on Impact Wrestling's roster. So got concrete mention there from Greek Town Wrestling up in Canada that Aiden Prince is indeed on the roster as well. So
the commentary was very Impact Pro, wasn't it? Which I thought was great to see. Can I just say a quick goodbye to Violet? She's on her way off, but great to see you, sweetheart. Hopefully we'll catch you next week as well. And again, Dead Punk, you're right. Aiden Prince, the reality is Aiden Prince is one hell of a talent. They picked on the fact that he was wearing black as well. He's moved sort of from his usual whites and reds and stuff to black. So are we seeing a more aggressive, maybe more dangerous, maybe more heely, Aiden Prince in the future? I don't know. What I do know is that was a bloody good match. And if you're able to go and watch it, then you need to go and watch it right. After the show's aired, after we've finished, not now, but after we've finished, get over and check it out, because it's a great match. And if you haven't got Ultimate Insider and you're not signed up to Impact Plus, it is available on YouTube for free, I believe, from Saturday. So go and check that out. If it's not Saturday, it's Sunday, but go and check it out. And again, there's a lot of stuff going on with Greek Town Wrestling at the moment. They're very pro Impact, so it's good to see.
I think they've got a really good relationship with Scott D'Amore and Impact Wrestling in general. Josh Alexander's there, Rosemary's there. Bhupinder Ghosh took Josh Alexander on there for the world title before the last big event.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Apparently, Bhupinder was great.
Yeah.
So, but again, I always say this: you put a talent in with a great wrestler, you're going to get a great match. You can be quite green, you can be a little bit inexperienced, but you put them in with a guy like Josh Alexander, you're still going to get a good match because Josh Alexander will make them look good. So you're going to get a great match regardless. Okay, so we've got BTI match set. We've got JD. Is it Griffey? I don't know this guy. JD Griffey and Exodus. I've heard of Exodus, but I don't know too much about him. Versus Bullet Club. Ace and Bay of the Bullet Club. This is going to be good, right? I'm liking that they keep pairing Ace and Bay together because I think they're going to make a hell of a tag team.
Yeah. Now it's like Impact Wrestling is getting their version of the Bullet Club, while the Good Brothers go to the New Japan or AEW or possibly WWE. But either way, Impact Wrestling's got their Bullet Club representation now, and Hickolo and Jay White can always come back in whenever as well. So, but Ace Austin and Chris Bay, they last time they teamed together, they were really, really good together as well. They really, really showed that they are gelling really quickly. And I'm looking forward to this match. Really, really looking forward to this one.
Okay.
It's great to see new faces as well. Especially, I've heard of Exodus, but I've never seen him, and I've heard of the other guy. I can't remember his name now. But
JD Griffey, I believe.
Yeah, I've heard the name before, and I can't remember where he's wrestled from. Where I've heard it from though. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to seeing new faces. Like we're talking about earlier, it's clear that the Good Brothers are going, so let's get as much new faces in now as we head towards Victory Road and Bound for Glory, and we might be seeing some new signings after Bound for Glory.
Oh, looks like we could be seeing some signings at this next set of tapings as well.
Yeah,
but we'll have to see. We'll have to see on that one. Of course, leading on from that. Hi Malachi, nice to see you, my friend.
Welcome.
Leading on into Impact Wrestling itself, we've got Deanna versus Masha, and of course, the winner of this one gets the KO title shot at Bound for Glory. What do you think on this one? Because this is a tough one to call because obviously Deanna doesn't lose many matches. We know that she is she's a big part of the Knockouts roster. However, she is carrying a title at the moment. She's now one half of VXT, the Knockouts tag title. But what do we see happening in this one? I don't know. I've got a funny feeling we're going to see shenanigans.
Oh, it's going to be some foul play, definitely. And given the state of the Knockouts tag team division, if anything, it might lead to a tag team match at Victory Road between Jordan Grace and Masha Stanovich versus Vex. Maybe not for the title, it's just a tag team match for them two for taking them on. But obviously, Chelsea Green's going to be at Deanna Prazo's side. And if there's no shenanigans, it's going to be a really close match because Deanna Prazo beat Masha last time they took each other on.
Yes.
And that was a really, really solid match. So, and Masha Stanovich hasn't been tested really well. And Deanna Prazo has been the only big test she's faced. That was before she was officially signed to Impact Wrestling.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to seeing round two. I've been waiting for round two for ages, and I'm glad it's finally coming about. So I don't see Deanna Prazo getting owned in this match, but I'm looking forward to seeing how she can outsmart her. Because
what I do know is
mind game is now just you're in my sights, you're dead.
Yes. What I do know is that the first encounter between Deanna and Masha was a great match.
Yeah.
That was a great match. And, that's where we saw for the first time what she could actually do. I think what we've seen recently is just basically squash matches after squash match, including what she did to poor old Havoc there. She had a good match with Giselle.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty solid, but it was still pretty, definitive, definite win, wasn't it? It was a definitive win there. I like that, Masha Berg. But I don't know. I think Masha's either going to win or there's going to be shenanigans, which maybe turn it into a three-way. But we might get like a three-way for the title at Bound for Glory.
Oh my God!
Who knows? No idea where that came from, but maybe that's Steve's. Steve is in the background, guys, so maybe that's his thoughts on a 3-way for the KO's title.
Well, would you like a 3-way, guys?
I don't know.
Would
I love I love a good 3-way.
Yeah.
So you just never know. Now, of course, we've already addressed the fact that Mickie James is going to address the Impact Zone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight for the juggler with this one. We've got an X Division title match: Mike Bailey versus Kenny King. Now, I've wanted this one for a while because I love Kenny King. I think Kenny King's is an awesome wrestler, in-ring performer. He's fantastic. And I think him and Mike Bailey are going to be...
They're going to tear the house down.
They are. They're going to tear the roof off the place. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm interested to know what everybody else's thoughts are on this one as well. So what do you think? Do you think this is going to be a good one?
Oh, this is going to be amazing. Mike Bailey is one of the most solid workers on the roster. He has not put a foot wrong since he's come to Impact Wrestling. I'm over the moon for this match. I don't know who to root for. That's the worst thing. Such a huge fan of Mike Bailey, but I want to stick by my family. I want to know more. So do I turn coat or do I play favorites? Or what do I do? Oh God, I just want to sit back and enjoy and try and be as unbiased as possible, which is going to be impossible.
Just going to be a fan. I'm just going to be a fan and enjoy it.
They'll have to slap each other and I'll be cheering like a bloody nutter.
I think I know this. I think when you put Mike Bailey and you put Kenny King in a ring, it's going to be gold. That's it. That's what I'm going to say. It's going to be gold. I'm sure Mike Bailey's going to continue his unbeaten run, although I'm not sure because obviously with Honor and More at the moment, there is a possibility they're looking to put all the belts on Honor and More talent. But we'll have to wait and see. Will it be Mike Bailey or could it be Vincent that takes the X Division title?
Yeah. If anything, Kenny King would make the most sense because Vincent could then go for the Digital Media Championship and like throw Brian Myers off completely.
Okay.
But that and given Kenny King's history as X Division champion in the past and Ultimate X and everything, so that would make the most sense from a booking perspective.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I am down with seeing an Honor No More take over everything. Ironically, it would be like Eddie. The one thing Eddie Edwards fought Bobby Lashley for was Bobby Lashley took everything apart from the tag belts, obviously. And Eddie Edwards stood up. Eddie Edwards stood up to him and fought him for taking the X Division title, taking the world title, taking the mountain title, and then discarding two of them. And now we could be seeing this happening with Eddie Edwards. Actually,
you just don't know. And I agree with Barry on this one. I wouldn't mind seeing an X Division champion in Kenny King again because he's an amazing heel and he's fantastic on the mic. So you're spot on the money there, Barry. Barry's on Twitch as well, which is nice to see. We don't see many people on Twitch these days. So big shout out to the Twitch fam there. But yeah, so I think it's going to be a cracking match, and one of the ones I'm really looking forward to watching. Obviously, they've only advertised these few men. They've only actually advertised 3 matches, plus obviously the Mickie segment. So I'm pretty certain we're going to get another Gujar match, possibly, or maybe we're going to get another. Oh, hey, Courtney. Hello, sweetheart. Nice to see you. Yeah, like I said, I think that we're definitely going to get at least one more match, if not 2. So we'll just have to wait and see. Now we've then got the Good Brothers versus OGK, obviously Honor No More, Mike Bennett and Matt Taven going for the tag titles. Now, if all goes the way we think it's going to go, then I think we can safely assume that this is going to be where the titles move over, or the first set of titles move over to Honor No More tomorrow night, where the Good Brothers lose to OGK. What are your thoughts on this?
Biggest, dumbest Melvin.
Yes. Do you know on the main show now they do Melvin of the Week? Have you seen that?
No, I've not.
Okay, fair enough. Go on.
I'm only disappointed that Maria is not there at ringside, but that's me being the Honor No More Mark that I am, or the anti-Melvin. I'm really looking forward to this match, whether Maria's out there or not, whether OGK can get this done without anyone's help, and this is their time to really prove it. And then they can rub that into Scott D'Amore's face as well if they get the win now.
Totally.
If not, I can see it going at Bound for Glory or Victory Road if they don't win
Yes.
it now. But if they win it now, which I really hope they do, because the build up to the rematch would be fantastic if the Good Brothers lost now, and because they could really, really get a really heated rivalry going even more just between OGK and the Good Brothers. Seeing as Eddie Edwards has got his attention on Josh Alexander, this would be a great way to reignite the rivalry they had in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and which I think is what they're trying to do. And
I think it is a fantastic way at the moment as well to see the likes of to see a title change on a weekly show as well. It's like you don't very often see that these days. You certainly don't see it on many other shows. So to get a title change on Impact, I think it's going to happen. I think we're going to see OGK take out the Good Brothers tomorrow night.
Yeah,
and if that's not a reason to tune in, I don't know what is. Maybe Alex Zane versus Mascaro Dorado is, like Mir suggesting, could be a match. Who knows? We'll have to
Can
wait
you
and
hear
see.
that? No? Well, let me turn it up for you.
My favorite wrestling character of all time, Mr. Sex Ferguson, everyone. I love that character. And this is what you've got to think about as well. Over the last sort of 2 years, we've had some great Good Brothers moments.
yeah.
With some of the fun stuff. I mean, Gallows is fantastic. I love the was it chicken yard brawl or whatever it was. That was great. We've had some good stuff, man.
Yeah, they went
We had Talking Shop. We had Talking Shop live. That was good, wasn't it? Do you remember that?
Yeah, and then they
Some
helped
really
set up.
good shit.
They helped set up Violent by Design as well. They really helped set them up as well. So they took up the North as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So if they weren't there, we wouldn't have Josh Alexander as world champion.
Yeah, totally. And that's interesting stuff there. OGK made it to the final four at the NWA 74 for the NWA United States tag titles last Saturday. They fought out of the arena with LA Rebellion, and Tavern took on a one-on-one LA Rebellion.
Ooh.
After OGK for the NWA tag belts. Oh yeah, I think you're right. I think OGK need this. I think that they've been without a belt for a long time.
Yeah, Mike Bennett's been amazing, and Matt Taven's been fantastic, and
both of them are fantastic wrestlers.
Yeah.
You can't and they're great tag team. They are a great tag team. I couldn't think of a better tag team at the moment to take those titles off of the Good Brothers on Impact Wrestling. I couldn't.
No, I couldn't.
So it's going to be fantastic. So I'm looking forward, and I'm looking forward to see where it goes as well. I mean, again, there's only so many times Violent by Design can hold the title, right? So
Yeah.
he's got to. But guys, I can't believe we got through the show so quickly today. It's because Steve's not on, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's because Steve's not on. We get through it a little bit quicker because we're not getting 3 opinions. We've only got 2. But please don't forget, guys, to head over to the TNI Patreon for exclusive extra content when you sign up. And also make sure you watch tomorrow night's TNI Flagship Impact Live review directly after the show is aired on Twitch and YouTube. You never know who might turn up. Also, all the TNI shows are available for you listen on the Go fans as audio only versus SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your favorite shows. You just never know. Where can we find you on the socials, Joe?
You can find me on Twitter at JeSICKa. You can look for hashtag empty space, hashtag into the void, or hashtag daily giggle on Facebook or on Twitter. They're coming more on Twitter now. But if you want to tickle your taste buds and challenge your sense of humor, but approach with an open mind, and you just might keep your sanity.
Exactly that. You might get lost in the void, so try and stay away from the void. Okay, try and stay away from the void. Just check him out on Twitter and Facebook. Steer clear of the void. You'll be fine. And where obviously you can find me at Lord Bison 45, just right here at Lord Bison 45 on Twitter. I do a little bit on Facebook. So if you put in at Lord Bison 45, I'm sure you'll find me on there as well. But guys, listen. Please take the time to help us out, moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new to us and you like what you see, if you think what you see is sick, then make sure that you click that subscribe button. And don't forget to give that bell a tickle, a squeeze, and of course, a smash to make sure that you never miss any of the great content coming out from the TNI UK team of myself, Joker, and Simply Steve. And the US teams, great content each and every week. Don't forget, if you want to support TNI, head over to our Spreadshirt shop. And of course, prowrestlingtees.com/total nonstop impact, where we've got lots of great shirts. And you could buy loads of great shirts over there. I bought this one recently, actually. This is the latest Crazy Steve decay shirt. Absolutely superb. That's a special Crazy Steve design. You know, you can get that one over on Wrestling Tees if you want, but make sure you stop by the prowrestlingtees.com/total nonstop impact shop, where you can get all your great stuff. And again, we bring out new stuff all the time, so it's definitely worth going and checking it out every now and again. Courtney, Clash of the Castle on Saturday in Cardiff. You're right, but I would never go to a WWE show. I would rather stick pins in my eyes. But there you go. With all that said, I have been Lord Bison himself. And of course, he has been the man from the void, the Joker. And Simply Steve, of course, is in the background. So he's definitely here with us. And this has been episode 98 of Impacted. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
To the TNI tribe.
We're Bison! We